We muted a few people upon arrival. That is just because we thought you did not mean to be off of mute or was picking up background noise. We do want everyone to have fun with us, so don't get offended if we mute you along the way. Just unmute yourself if you want to say something. Just Zoom can be tricky in that way. So we know a lot of you on this class, and we're so glad to see some of our very old friends from the old days that are now doing some of our new COVID style cooking classes. And then we've got lots of new faces from all over the country joining us today. So for those of you who don't know us, I'm Jen, and this is my husband, Jamey. And we own a company in Jacksonville, Florida called The Chef's Garden Catering and Events. And when life sort of just took a halt back in March and got turned upside down, we rolled out these virtual cooking classes as a matter of survival, and they have truly become our silver lining. And so we are so excited to be cooking with all of you tonight, and to be able to share our joy of cooking and entertaining with y'all. Can everybody hear me okay? Thumbs up if so. All right. And I'm checking. So I see some of you are cooking with other people, but I only see one name listed. I'd love to be able to check in with everybody as we're going through this process. So if you can rename yourself, that would be awesome. If you don't know how to do that, raise your hand. We can help you. Alicia from our team is on here as well, so she's helping. So James, can you unmute and tell me who you're cooking with?
I'm cooking with Jenny 114 and also with Nancy's iPad.
Okay, no, that's okay. As long as, are you cooking with anybody else in your house?
Oh, yes, Becky.
Becky. Okay, perfect. So we'll fix that one. Got it. Let me fix Claudia. Got it. Okay. The other thing is, if you're sending something to the chat, Alicia's monitoring the chat for us. So she is on the screen that says CG. If you don't send the chat to everyone, I'll see it if you send it to everyone, and I'll probably respond to you verbally with that, because what we find is that if one of you has questions, we probably all have the same questions, so they're helpful. But if you want to ask something specifically to one of us, not on the group chat, if you'll send it to CG, and Alicia just sent you a chat there so that you can see that. So we're good there. Does everybody have their ovens preheated to 425 degrees?
We just put ours on, but I have a quick question. You don't allow this to be recorded?
We are recording it.
So, okay, because I tried to hit record on my Zoom and it said you have to ask the host.
I didn't see the request, so you can try again. And if not, I'm happy to share the recording with you.
Okay, yeah, because I would just like it for the future. We're both professors, my wife and I, so we know about keeping stuff private, but we just wanted it to have it to consult in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. We're happy to share recordings from the class with anybody that would like to have them. We'll actually put it up on our YouTube channel afterwards too, for that. So with that, I think I've covered everything. I just think it's time. It's been a long week. I don't know about for everybody else, but let's just cheers to Saturday, to having some fun, to cooking some delicious food. So cheers, everybody. We're excited to be here and to have some fun. And now, everybody's oven's preheating, so I'm going to pass it over to Jamey. We're going to start with the eggplant.
Sure. So
we're going to go through everything.
Hey, everybody. So before we do anything else, well, when I wrote this recipe down and we printed it out and sent it to you, I sort of forgot an important step is the actual roasting of the eggplant. We're not going to deep fry it like a lot of traditional Sicilian recipes deep fry the eggplant. We're going to roast the eggplant first, okay? Before I go through any ingredients, before we do anything, let's go ahead and do that because that takes a few minutes and it's fairly important. A couple things with the roasting of the eggplant, it cuts down on the calories because if you deep fry eggplant's like a sponge. It absorbs like whatever you introduce to it, it absorbs it. So the roasting of the eggplant cuts down on the calories, and there's plenty of other flavors and whatnot in it. So if y'all could get your cutting board and get your chef's knife and get a sheet pan or a cookie sheet or something.
Okay, Claudia,
like
do you have a question for us?
Yes, she does.
You're on mute though. Claudia, you're still on mute.
She's coming.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, Claudia.
Hi. I've been so excited. I've been waiting here for 24 hours, as you well know.
Claudia yesterday, she's like, I need the link for tonight's class. I'm like, well, it's tomorrow, but we will get.
Whoops. All right. So, Jamie, the sheet says just preheat to 350, but now that we're going to be doing the eggplant, what should we go to?
Don't look at your cheat sheet.
We're
We're going rogue.
425.
We're going rogue.
So you want, gotcha. So 425?
Mhm.
All right. My poor oven will get there. Okay.
It's okay.
Okay, so we're ready.
All right, guys.
All righty.
All right, so everybody get your eggplant out. And me personally, we're gonna dice the eggplant. We're gonna toss it in olive oil, salt, and pepper. We're gonna lay it on our sheet pan. We're gonna roast it. Me personally, I do not like the skin on my eggplant. So I'm gonna show you how to cut that off. If you like the skin on your eggplant, then you feel free to keep it on there. I just don't like it.
I have one other question for everybody. I did not spotlight our video since we all are fitting on one page. Do you want us to spotlight the video, or is everybody able to see? I'm going to spotlight it really quickly for you so that it's there. And if you don't want this, like I want to see everybody as opposed to ours, just go up to view and switch to gallery view. But that way you can follow along if you want the instruction to be bigger at any point. And if you switch back to gallery view, if you just go over our video and pin it, it'll make it larger if you need that. Okay.
I love to start a class out with a little curveball. It gets everybody on their game. All right, so we have an eggplant, right? So there's sort of a larger bulb, and then there's the smaller side. I like to cut it in half, right in the middle, like that. Now we do that, we have a flat, and then cut the top off a little bit right there. And then obviously cut the stem off right there, okay? So now we have, let me put that right there, a flat surface to work with. So it's much easier to cut something when it's flat, right? So to peel this eggplant, and again, if you don't want to peel it, don't peel it. It's up to you. But we are. So take your knife and just slowly take as much of the peel off with taking as little of the flesh of the eggplant as you can, okay? There's plenty of eggplant for this caponata for 2 people, there's plenty. But just take your knife and follow it all the way down like I'm doing right here. Can everybody see that? We can see that.
And just to clarify, Jamie,
it's edible. You can eat this. You can eat it.
Keep this on. If you're an eggplant person, you may even like the skin on.
You may even like it.
Jamie just is very particular when it comes to eggplant.
Yeah, I am. There we go. And then go ahead and do that to the other half of the eggplant. So in all of the eggplant dishes that I've cooked, I prefer like stewed eggplant, like moussaka and other things, where the eggplant takes on flavors of other things, because I'm not a huge fan of pure eggplant flavor, like people eat like eggplant parmesan and stuff, and some people love it. I do not, but caponata, I love it. Don't ask me why. Okay, so we've peeled our eggplant, and then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna cut about 1/2 inch. Can everybody see that? Cut it into 1/2 inch circles like that, okay? All of it.
So does anybody know caponata?
Just like that, okay? I'm going a little fast right now, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna wait for y'all to catch up.
And then let's save a little bit to the side in case anybody has a question.
So, and then you can even stack a couple, but what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go 1/2 inch we're going for 1/2 inch dice of this. So we're going 1/2 inch, and I'm gonna wait a second because Jennifer wants to say something.
Well, no, I just want to get a thumbs up when everybody has their eggplant peeled and it's sliced and we're ready to be dicing, just to be sure. Oh, look, Kevin's on. Kevin is showing Jessica. There was a little conversation ahead of time. So Kevin is.
She wasn't quite sure if Kevin had skills.
So Kevin's bringing his A game tonight.
We're just gonna take an extra second because we have double everything.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all, I'm just showing you like how to do it, and then I'm gonna give you a few minutes to catch up, okay? So these are like nice, so raw eggplant is like a little bitter, so we wanna really cook that bitterness out of it. And what they do when they deep fry it is just that. But when you deep fry it, it absorbs all of that. In a lot of recipes, when they deep fry it, they use like sunflower seed oil or use vegetable oil. You don't use olive oil when you deep fry, obviously, because olive oil has a low burning point, and when you heat olive oil to 350 degrees, it's going to burn. It gets super bitter, so you're going to have bitter eggplant and bitter oil. So you want to use an oil that has a higher burning point. But we're roasting this, so we're going to use olive oil. Okay.
So Liz and Keith, I love the question. This is a Meeson knife that we're using. So my friend actually from high school works for Meeson in Brooklyn. That's how I came to know about the company. I bought one for Jamey. He typically cooks with Global or like Wusthof knives, which are like
German
a chef knife
Japanese.
is typically starting at like $150 plus per knife. This is a $65 chef knife, all Japanese steel. I like to think that you're asking because it has a very sleek design.
Well, it's a very sleek design. And the quality of the steel is top notch, and it's very manageable. It's a perfect design for I don't want to say novice, but maybe
Home chef?
a not professional chef, but even good enough for professional chefs. So I highly recommend it.
It sounds like we're giving an advertisement, but we're not paid to say it. We just really do like the knife. And
Not yet
at
anyway.
this season,
I'm kidding.
and it really is a perfect giving item. So we actually had a bunch of people from our team that like them. And we
Yeah,
just
no
didn't
joke,
order.
guys. This knife is as good as it gets. So continue to
What kind of steel is it?
Japanese.
What is it though? Like VG10, VG30? Like what is it?
You might be outside of my
You're outside.
expertise.
They do, if you go online, I did read about which steel it is, but I cannot remember. But it is like they feel it's very brag worthy. So if you look on their site,
They'll tell you the
yes.
specifics of it.
Thanks.
Hey, Jamie, have you had to sharpen it yet? I haven't had to sharpen mine yet, but have you had to?
No, I've honed it on my steel like a couple times, but no, it holds its edge very well.
So you're still, wow, you've had it a few months now.
Yeah, I have. No, it
I
holds
love it.
very well.
I love my knife. I'm so glad I bought one.
You are too.
Yeah. Let us know. We actually did it. We bought them for one of our large classes. They sent them as gifts. And so that's what got us looking for a more affordable knife. Actually, it was something that they could afford to gift to a large group.
Now we know why we need a baking dish.
Here we go. So this is our diced eggplant.
So let us see.
Let us know when you're here.
Hey,
Is
John
then
and
we're
Debbie
gonna-
look good.
I'm going to drizzle it with olive oil. And I'm going to tell you how much olive oil.
So the group that's cooking for two, is it Roble? Last name?
We're cooking for 4.
That's what I mean, for 2 kids. Tell me, is it Roble? Am I saying the last name right?
Robo ornaments, yeah. I'm Andrew, that's Bob, that's Joanne. Hi.
How are y'all doing as far as prep time?
Already.
Y'all are good? Okay, everybody's good. Anybody?
Where do you live?
Idaho.
That's right. There were 2 kids that went to Idaho. I was like, so cool.
Okay.
Just had our daughter just had a baby 10 days ago. So
Yeah.
she's not in the class, she's sleeping, and I'm on monitor duty, so
Awesome.
cooking.
Wake up to a delicious dinner.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So now we're ready for the next step.
Sure. So I've given you olive oil. Okay, so find your olive oil. We're going to use all of this olive oil except for a tablespoon. Okay, so really, I'm just going to show you.
This is why we have
I'm
Alicia
going to go.
here.
I'm going to drizzle all of that except for a tablespoon. Okay, just reserve that, and then take your hand or whatever, and like I said earlier, eggplant is like a sponge. It's going to absorb all that, but when it cooks, okay, and then the second ingredient, the salt and pepper I sent you, go ahead and shake that up a little bit. And I would add a full teaspoon of salt and pepper to this, which is about this much. Full teaspoon. Toss that in there. Okay. And now we'll take our sheet pan. Fairly important, when you roast things, you want to make sure it's like a single layer. What I mean by that is, if you try to roast something that's overcrowded and stacked, it's going to not cook evenly. It's not going to roast evenly. We're not going to achieve what we're looking for. So we want to make sure that your pan can accommodate your eggplant on one flat surface area surface. Okay, just like that. Okay.
So then let us know when you're ready to go in the oven.
Because if we put too much on the roasting pan and it's too small or whatever, I'd rather you have a pan that's a little bigger than you would need, because at least we're getting a nice roast on the vegetables. If you overcrowd it, this is fine. This is totally fine with this eggplant. But if you stack it, the vegetables on the top are going to weep into the bottom ones, and it's not going to roast. It's just going to steam. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven for 15 minutes. Okay.
Okay, so I'm setting our timer.
425-degree oven for 15 minutes.
Okay, so I have our timer set. And now we're going to, everybody good, give us a thumbs up when y'all are ready, and we're going to start going through all of our ingredients.
Isn't it interesting, the eggplant, the vegetable, like, it is very soft, but you've really got to cook the bejesus out of it. It's interesting to me. Maybe not to you.
It is.
Maybe that's why it's not my favorite. It is my favorite tonight. All right, so let's go over ingredients.
Caponata. Let's have.
I love caponata. So we're going to go over our ingredients, and I'm going to sort of organize them the way that we're going to cook them. Okay. We good with that? All right. So first of all, we have celery, and I put some garlic cloves in there because this is caponata ingredients. I have a wee red pepper. So this is not like your rear view mirror. Objects are larger than you appear. This is actually the size of this red pepper.
We were short one red pepper, and so we sent somebody to Publix and said, get a small red pepper. And they were very literal.
But literally, this is really all you need. You don't need a regular size red pepper. This is actually fine. And then you have an onion. Half of this onion is for our caponata. Half of this onion is going to be for our risotto. Okay. We have arborio rice. What else goes in the caponata? Caponata. Sherry vinegar, sugar, soft herbs. These are multi-purpose soft herbs. We're going to prep these in just a few minutes. Tomatoes go in the caponata. I can read. This unmarked little vessel has Niçoise olives in it. You can use Kalamata olives, green olives, whatever you want, but we're using Niçoise olives tonight.
Only Miswa olives for me.
Oh,
I know
that's
they're your
right,
favorite,
That's
Nona.
right. We have
So that's everything for the
caponata, pretty much. And then we have a caper and raisin beurre noisette, which is a raisin and caper brown butter, which is this sauce right here is unbelievable. And if you look at your caponata ingredients, you notice that the capers and raisins aren't in it, is because I put it in this. And this is going to sort of supplement that caponata in a different way. My sort of little twist on this dish here. We have a hazelnut crust, which this is actually, I believe the recipe I sent to you is sort of a compound butter that we're going to melt on our fish, which the butter will dissipate into the fish and we'll leave this beautiful hazelnut crust on top. We have pancetta, and those of you who
went pescatarian,
went
you've got a
pescatarian, you have
mushroom bacon.
mushroom bacon.
Now,
We have the aforementioned. Go ahead.
let's talk about this, just in case we're in the middle of cooking. If you have the mushroom bacon, when we put this, we typically don't put the mushroom bacon back on heat. So if we throw this in the pan, which I'm assuming we are.
Debbie, do not put your
Yeah,
mushroom
don't
bacon
put your
in.
mushroom bacon in. You'll add it as a garnish after. Okay.
Right on.
Yeah.
So again, half this onion is going to go with the risotto, which is arborio rice, chicken stock, and Debbie, you got veggie stock, white wine, lemon juice, and lemon zest. Yes, they're both in the same container. Butter and Parmesan Reggiano, and then again, these soft herbs that we're going to prep are going to be for both the caponata and for the risotto. And the star of the show is the Alaskan Black Cod right here. I would like everybody to take this out of the cryovac now and sort of pat it dry, and then maybe put it back in the refrigerator till later when we're ready to cook it. Reason being is when you're searing fish, or really anything, you want it dry. You want to pat like chicken or steak or whatever. You don't want it swimming in its own juices. You want it dry, because when you sear it and it's dry, it gets crispier, and you get better results that way. So we're going to take it out of the cryovac. This fish is really special.
But let's talk about what makes this fish so special a little
I
bit.
actually was going to do that, but I would like for you to do that.
No, I was going to say a little bit close when we start cooking the fish.
Okay.
So we can keep everybody moving and prepping veg.
We're going to keep you in suspense.
I think everybody's in the class because they know how good it is, but we are going to tell them our
Okay.
favorite reasons.
Very good. All right, so first of all, did everybody get their ingredients that we just went through? Is everybody
We're
comfortable
good.
with what they got?
Perfect.
That's half the battle, guys. It's great.
So now let's talk about equipment.
Equipment. So we're going to need a pan to cook our caponata in, which is going to be this. We're going to use this 2-quart medium sauce pot. We're going to need a pot to cook our risotto in. We're going to use this 1 quart.
But you could use something larger.
You could use something larger if you have it. But cooking risotto for 2 people, this will suffice. But if you have something larger, that's totally fine. Totally fine. And then we need a 10 to 12 inch saute pan with preferably I mean, if you have a non-stick, that's fine. But as long as you have a nice steel saute pan, that's good. And we're going to need a fish spatula. We're going to need a rubber spatula. We're going to need a stirring apparatus. Wooden spoon works well. We're going to need a pair of tongs. And
That's a good looking fish spatula, Jose.
maybe
I
a
like it.
little, you know, we need a couple little small bowls for our mise en place, our veggies when we cut. And I believe that's all we need, guys.
Everybody feeling good on equipment? There, okay,
We're good.
awesome. Great, so let's get into
All right.
the,
So side note, your hazelnut crust. This
oh, sorry, I wish to switch cameras. There you go.
boom. This hazelnut crust. Keep it okay. Keep this away from warm stuff. Keep it like in a cooler part of your kitchen. And this, the beurre noisette, if you keep this in like near your stove or near your oven, the warmer part, if you notice, it's solidified. And before we use it, we can microwave it for just like 15 seconds. But just keep this in a warm spot. It may melt all by itself.
It's funny, we did a class with it
But
being,
it's so cold outside, like it's crazy.
I mean, it's cooler outside. We did do a class where we were making our coq au vin, and the flour and butter mixture that we do at the end.
Was cold.
Usually, like by the time we leave the butter out for 2 hours, it's like soft. We actually had to like really make it get in there.
Because living in Florida, like when it gets down to 50 degrees, we're like, what is going on? These gentlemen in Idaho, they're like, whatever. Like soft. All right. Okay. So let's prep our caponata vegetables. Okay. Let's actually do our onion first, because I want to make sure that we reserve half of this onion for our risotto, because every good risotto has onion in it, right? Okay, so those of you who have cooked with us know how I do the onion. Those of you who do not, so the onion has like the root side right here that has a little crazy little hairs, and it's a little dirt right there. The other side, take the top off, cut that off, and then cut your onion in half.
I do think this is one of the most practical, useful skills you learn in all of our classes. Is how to cut the
So
onion.
half this onion. We're gonna dice this onion the same, but I want you to get a little bowl like this for half of it.
I'm just gonna pull you just a little bit so your head stays, your face is on this video.
Nobody wants to see my face.
They do.
Okay. There you go. All right. So we're keeping this part intact. Okay. So peel the outer layer off. That's too much. Okay. Just the outer brown skin off. Just like that. And now. So we've peeled the skin off. So now, here we go. Sorry, I'm super like clean. So take your knife. So take it flat, put your fingertips on top of the onion like this. We're stabilizing the onion, right? It's flat. We still have the root side intact. Take your knife halfway up the cutting board, halfway up the onion, about ½ an inch, and make an incision like this horizontally. And the dull part of the knife, the back part of the knife, push up towards the ceiling. And it'll help your knife glide through the onion. And then you're going to stop right before you get to the end. Okay. So the onion is in one piece still. Okay. One piece still held together by the root. Now you're going to turn it and you're going to make vertical cuts about a ¼ inch vertical. Again, not cutting all the way through, keeping the root. Now turn it again and make your perpendicular cuts straight down. And you get this perfect dice while the root of the onion holds it together for you. And then when you're done, you can discard that. And interesting enough, this part of the onion where the root is, this is the most concentrated part of the onion where that gas is that makes you cry. The technical name for it, I couldn't tell you right this second.
Are we prepping all the onion right now or just
We are.
half?
We're
Okay.
putting half of the onion right here.
And the other half.
This is for our risotto. Okay.
Okay.
This half is for the risotto. Set that aside. This other half of the onion, we're going to cut it exactly the same way. We're going to dice it exactly the same, but it's going to be for the caponata. Okay. So go ahead, halfway up the cutting board. You push your back of the knife up, just like that. Helps it go in. Held together by the root. Turn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it. Other things that will help you not cry. A sharp knife helps you not cry. The less you bludgeon an onion, the less of the gases are released.
And good ventilation.
Good ventilation in your kitchen, and try to breathe through your mouth. Okay. So this half of the onion, we're going to put in a larger bowl because our other caponata veggies are going to go in the same bowl. Okay. Cool. All right, so we're going to move on to our red pepper. Lay it on its side like
Is
this.
everybody done with the onion? Everybody feeling good? I still see, just making sure.
We'll wait just a second.
We'll wait a second,
Did you
just to
set a
be sure.
timer?
I did. I set a timer of 1 minute and 30 seconds. So one thing I'm going to tell y'all right now is, just so everybody can get ready, is that some classes,
Real quick, where that second onion, second half, what does that go in?
the second half is going to
The
go in a
second
larger
half-
bowl.
It's in a larger bowl like this. It's going to go with our celery and
Okay.
red pepper for our caponata.
Perfect, thank you.
You got it.
So everybody that's done our classes before knows that a lot of times with, if we have a more intimate group, then we will kind of chat as we're going through this piece. So instead of doing that all at one time, risotto is kind of a time consuming dish that you have to stay focused on, but there is also some time. So we're going to chat with everybody individually as we're going through. And our hope is that everybody will be able to share, introduce who you're cooking with, tell us where you live or where you're cooking from right now. And then if you're celebrating a December holiday, what holiday, and where you are in the process with that. So we are going to have some interaction. We're just going to kind of get through a couple pieces of prep and then get going.
Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Like Festivus, if we were celebrating Festivus.
Festivus.
Okay, cool. All right, so lay your red pepper on the side and then take your knife and insert it at the top. And we're gonna sort of roll. Ooh,
We have 2 minutes to check, right? 2 seconds.
ooh. It's okay. We can wait a second. The eggplant's not gonna burn. So go ahead and insert your knife, and we're gonna sort of roll the red pepper while we're making this incision, and we're going to pop it right off there. Why do we do that? It's because the top of the red pepper and the
Holds all the
stem holds all the seeds. Most of the seeds. Some of the seeds go rogue and we gotta collect them and put them where they back in there. And then the rest of it, you can take your red pepper and turn it upside down and just tap it, and the majority of the seeds come out.
Ours,
The 15-minute timer just went off.
I know, we're
ours did
checking.
too. Ours did too. So we're going to stop now. We have the top of our red pepper and we're going
Okay.
to check our eggplant. And I'm going to move it so we can see. Ours looks pretty good. Do you want to show everybody what ours is looking like?
Sure.
So there's ours. How's
Probably
it?
go 5 more minutes.
We're going to go 5 more
We're
minutes.
gonna go 5 more minutes. Okay? 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes. Okay, so I'm setting another timer for 5 minutes. We'll keep going.
Let's do our eggplant for 5 more minutes, guys, and then I think that'll be good. It's been 15 minutes since it's been in there.
Yeah.
Man, I need to shut up and cook. All right. So we've cut the top out. Let's go ahead and cut the bottom out so we can see through our red pepper. And then follow your natural peppers segments, okay? Because there's a rib that is in each segment, and then cut that rib out. Now, some red peppers have more ribs than others, and that actually tells you what gender that pepper is. True story.
What sex?
That's what gender means, I think.
Well, okay, keep going.
Okay, and then so we take that out, and so we want the skin side of the red pepper down on the cutting board, so the meat of it is facing up. And now dice about a quarter inch thick. Okay, quarter-inch strips, just like that. And now turn it and cut it perpendicularly, quarter-inch. So we have like a nice little dice. And it's in this red pepper, we're gonna put with that second half of the onion we just
And
cut.
all the red pepper.
All the red pepper,
Okay.
guys. All of it.
Okay.
Okay,
We definitely need all of our red pepper.
there we go. Okay, and then the bottom of the red pepper that we cut is always it's definitely not flat. So I just sort of take my hand and crush, flatten it a little bit so it's easier to manage there while you're cutting it. So there we go. We have our onion and red pepper dice. Okay. When y'all are done with that, go ahead and grab your celery and garlic out. Let's take those garlic cloves and just set them aside right up here, and let's deal with that celery, okay? Most of you have 4 pieces of celery. I have 6. But we all have about the same amount, okay? Same amount. So the celery, we want the celery to be the same size as our onions and peppers, okay? So if we just cut our celery, it's going to be a little bit bigger. So we want to take these and cut them in half lengthwise. Take all of our celery stalks and cut them in half lengthwise, like this. Okay, right down the middle lengthwise. All right. Now we can start dicing our celery perpendicularly to them. We just cut them lengthwise. And again, just look at the size of your onions and peppers. We want these pieces of celery to be about the same size, okay?
And the main reason for that is that we want to make sure everything cooks evenly. So the onions, peppers, and celery are going to go in at the same time. So we want to make sure that everything cooks evenly. So anybody know why we're going through this chopping piece? Does this caponata remind you of any other dish that you can think of? Nancy, I know you're not Nancy, but you're cooking with Nancy.
Ratatouille?
Yes. It is very similar to like the French ratatouille. I don't know that there's one that's better than the other, besides that Ratatouille has a Disney movie named after it.
The cute little rat.
That is right.
Runs around and cooks.
But they are very similar in style, with eggplant being like a key component, adding in the tomato and then the other vegetables. This caponata recipe that we're doing as well, like it's awesome as a side dish like we're doing it, but also like this season or whenever, it's awesome to make like a little canapé, just French bread, toasted with a little olive oil, and then adding this caponata. It's delicious, served at room temperature. So it can work really nicely.
Is that like Final Jeopardy? Do I get a prize for that? Or
So we would prize if we were in person. You would definitely get a prize. Right now, you're just getting like a really great applause.
I can hear it.
All right. Let's I'm gonna take my eggplant out because I think it's ready. It's got some nice color to it.
Anybody not sure about their eggplant? Anybody have a question? Everybody feeling good?
I think this is good for the eggplant. I'm gonna set it aside right over here.
Andrew, are y'all good up there?
Ours didn't quite brown up enough, so I'm going to put it in for 2 or 3 minutes longer.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Tony and Jacqueline, are y'all good? Oh, looking good. We're missing our lead, but y'all are doing a fabulous job.
Hey Jen, should we turn our oven down now?
If you are done, well, for the fish.
Yeah, I mean, you can. We don't, the oven really, yes, turn it down to 350. I mean, we really don't need the oven until we just finish our fish. Really, we don't need the oven for anything else.
So you can turn it down to 350
For
is the
sure,
final
yeah.
answer.
So what I'm trying to say is yes, you can. So garlic, guys, we want to dice our garlic, and I'll show you the fancy way to do it, and then you can do it however you normally do it, like basically just crush it and mince it. But if you take a piece of garlic, you can treat a piece of garlic like an onion or a shallot. I know, I'm so finicky, I don't even know.
Picking which piece of garlic.
So I know, I was really follow the garlic. Which garlic?
It's like the
which,
game of
which one
cups.
is it? Which one is it? Okay, so take the piece of garlic and you're gonna make that horizontal incision, like I just did right there.
But the goal is not to cut it all the way through.
And then turn it and you make those tiny vertical incisions. This is like, you know, next level knife skills. And then you mince your garlic. We call this in the business manicuring your garlic. This achieves a couple things. It achieves super pretty, tiny, perfect, almost smaller than brunoise. But so like when you take a piece of garlic and you go like this and you crush it, it makes that garlic more pungent. You just like release like tons of like garlicness. Oh, but it's
and
fine.
some people consider that to be a bad thing.
Right. Some people consider that to be a bad thing. I don't.
Right. The more
I love
garlic, the better.
So,
Hilda. I'm
so
right
you
there
can go
with
ahead,
you.
go ahead and crush that garlic, put it through a garlic press, whatever you want to do. And we're going to crush it, and then we're going to just mince that garlic up a little bit.
I love the smell of it. Like when you manicure it, you don't get that
Right
fragrance.
So when I worked in a 4-star restaurant, we only manicured our garlic because I thought it was offensive and this and that and the other. But in my older, wiser days, I realized that that was very pretentious and not necessary. There we go. So that's our garlic. This is just for the caponata, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and give hands a little rinse because garlic is
Potent.
very potent and it's a little sticky.
We use all the garlic for that, right?
All
Yes,
the garlic.
all the garlic.
Now your garlic is
So-
keeping our garlic separate though. 'cause we-
Separate, yeah.
So our
What
cap,
kind of garlic did you send?
3 cloves, approximately 3 cloves. Obviously not every clove is the same size. So it's the equivalent. So if you have like 5 cloves, it's probably like some smaller cloves, but do them all. And you're going to achieve about, you know, a good tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half of garlic.
What kind of garlic did you send?
It's just regular peel garlic. It's not
Okay.
elephant or anything else. It's just regular. Cool. All right. So the
Thanks.
caponata, we have our onions, we have our celery, and we have our red pepper. Okay. We have our garlic. We have our tomatoes. We have our olives, our sherry vinegar. We have our sugar. Okay. That's all for the caponata. One more vegetable we're going to prep, and that's our soft herbs. And then we're going to actually start cooking. Okay.
I'm excited. That was a smile of excitement.
I love the prep work. I love the prep work. So in our herbs, we have chives, we have flat leaf parsley, and we have basil. All soft herbs. So what do we do with soft herbs? We add them at the end of the dish. We never add them at the beginning. We only add hard herbs at the beginning, okay? Or dried herbs, okay? Soft herbs, we only add at the end, okay? So we're going to take sort of separate all these. So the basil, you know, is the larger leaves. The flat leaf parsley are the mid-sized leaves, and then the chives are these guys.
Sticks.
The chives, we're just gonna, when you cut soft herbs, make sure your knife is super sharp and
So you don't bruise them.
you don't bruise them. And be soft with them, be gentle with them. You just sort of like be really soft. We're gonna mix all these together. So
Great, that was my next question.
the chives, you just want to get a nice, super small cut on them. And if you have like a little bowl like this.
I'm gonna put this in.
Those blue ones too.
This is going to be our soft herb mix that we're going to finish our caponata with and our risotto with.
Okay.
Okay. And then the parsley, same thing. We're going to, so if you have any like big stems in your parsley, throw that away. It should be mostly leaves. We don't really want any of the parsley stems. So just pick your parsley till it's just leaves. And then sort of take your leaves like this and pack them together, sort of like a little like that. And then take your knife and you're just gonna like shaving it. We're just like chiffonading the parsley nice and softly so we don't bruise it. Okay. Add it to your chives. Your basil, same thing. Pick your basil leaves off of the stem and stack them right on top of each other, just like this. Largest on the bottom to smallest, okay? Largest leaves on the bottom to the smallest on top. So you have like this stack of basil leaves. Now lay them flat and roll them into like a little tiny basil cigar, like that. Right, see that? It's like a little there. And again, take your knife and softly, like just shave it. This is the chiffonade, okay? And then add that to your parsley and chives. So we have this.
Smells so nice.
Smells so nice. This beautiful little soft herb salad deal going on here. All right, guys. Are we ready to cook some caponata and some risotto and some black cod? All right. Sounds
Ready.
good.
Yes.
We're ready.
We're ready.
We are ready. I'm going to turn that off because it's super hot.
So this is where I should probably take us to the back camera.
So now we're going to go back to the stove cam.
Okay, oops. Wrong one.
And let's get our medium sauce pot and let's turn it on medium heat with gas. If you're cooking with gas, medium heat. If you're cooking with electricity, medium high heat, okay?
Okay, so
Okay,
medium
here we
heat
go.
with gas, medium high with electric. And we're starting the caponata. So there's this, Jamie's starting the oven, our like knobs, we're waiting, we have a new oven en route and our knobs are very finicky. But you cannot get any appliances quickly in the middle of COVID. So what we thought would be like 3 weeks is like 10 weeks.
Got it. If this class teaches you nothing, it teaches you to cook with what you have.
That's a great lesson.
And what we have at the end is going to be amazing. And you're like, wow, I made this amazing dish with what I have.
Yeah. Claudia was cooking with us earlier this week. We made sushi and we teach you how to make sushi rice, right? With a pot and pan right on your stove.
You don't need a fancy rice cooker or You know,
Gadgets are great, but not necessary. That's right.
they're nice. All right, medium. Medium heat.
Okay.
Come on, baby. There we go. You got to talk to it. All right, add a tablespoon of olive oil. Actually, that's the remaining tablespoon of olive oil that we have that I sent you. Add it right in there. And these containers, please hand wash them and keep them. Do not put them in the dishwasher, they'll melt on the dry cycle.
Try
But
to
hand
keep the
wash them.
labels on so you think of us every time you go to use them.
Right.
Says Jen and James.
But you can, you know, send dressings with your kids to school or, you know, whatever. They're awesome. We would like for them to be used more than once, if you can,
Yes.
if you can. All right, so we have
Olive oil on.
olive oil's on, medium heat. Go ahead and add your, this is actually called a trinity. It's onions, celery, and peppers.
Nice little sizzle in the pot.
Add that to the pot.
So what are we doing here? Are we
Are
we sweating them out? Woo. We're sweating them out?
we're sweating.
Now we put the peppers and celery and all that goes in?
Pepper, celery,
And
and onion
onion.
are in the pot.
That goes in the pot.
In the pot.
Thank
That's
you.
we have 1 tablespoon of oil, pepper, celery, and onion.
Got it.
Great.
Medium heat with gas, medium high with electric. So we're gonna cook this for a good 2 to 3 minutes, okay?
Okay.
We want it to get nice and soft. This is a stewed, almost like a vegetable, like relish kind of thing. So we want the vegetables to be soft. We want them to release all their flavors. We want to get everything we can get out of these vegetables.
So part of the reason we chose to do, this is part of a 3-part series featuring some of our favorite Alaska seafood. The reason that we ended with this dish is because we think this is such a perfect dish this time of year. Black cod, this is the season, October through December is the 2nd season for black cod. It also is, these flavors are perfect for winter. And we think whatever holiday you're celebrating, this makes for just a really special family meal. So this is one of the recipes that we're actually going to serve on Christmas Eve for our family because we like it so much. So we're cooking in Jacksonville, Florida, like we said. We're celebrating actually Hanukkah and Christmas this year. So Jamie was raised Jewish. Kennedy is going to the JCA. So we're going to start celebrating Hanukkah next year. We are decorated. I'm going to show you on the other camera. It's going to be a little messy, but we are decorated for Christmas in our house. You can see our tree over there. That's Alicia. Say hey, Alicia. That's our Christmas tree and our mantle. Oops, that's our light ring. It's all coming together. That's our, so with that, I would love to pass it over to Kevin and Jessica, who are our OGs. So we actually celebrated Kevin and Jessica's birthday. We got to cater it in person. Can you turn that video off for me? So I can celebrate their birthdays in person. We did a small party for them. But they also part of our original members that went to dinner club, which was our monthly cooking class. So Hilda and Jose, who are on here, there are like originals from there too. But they've been to lots of cooking classes that we've been doing since now. So this is our first time roping in Kevin and Jessica for this. So happy to have them. So we'll let you take it from there.
What are we supposed to say?
I don't know.
What was our assignment?
Saying who you're cooking with, what you're celebrating, and if you can show us any cute decorations in your house.
Oh, yeah. So Christmas tree.
Okay. So Kevin and Jessica, we're celebrating our 50th birthday week, month. And this is my new Christmas tree this year. I went with black and red and white.
Where you do the,
Just touch the screen, it's unmuted.
I want to see the participants.
So there you go.
You did that. No, you can change it.
So with that, how much time do we have?
Oh, we got another minute here.
Okay, so I'm going to Hilda and Jose, who are other OGs from Dinner Club.
Got it. Okay, so we celebrate Christmas,
It's your
but
birthday
it's my
tomorrow.
birthday tomorrow, so I'm right there with Jessica. Birthday, week, month, season. It's fantastic. And Jen and Jamie, congratulations. You guys have honed this cooking class to perfection.
Yes.
It's a thing of beauty.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Love it. I saw Ruth back there. Is she gonna do a little, will she do one little appearance?
TikTok, maybe?
She does a TikTok. Tell Ruth, we're doing a TikTok class. So Claudia was part of a class we did for Pinterest earlier this week, and we're doing TikTok, not this Monday, but next Monday. So it actually,
No, I'll get Ruth involved.
gotta get a dance move planned. Gotta
Perfect.
Do that.
a little rhythm and that's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna come back to those. Oh, I just saw, I think it was Kylie. Kylie's got some moves. She's showing them off, or maybe it was Jenny. They're right there in there. I like it. There we go. There we go.
Nice.
So right now, what everybody doesn't know is our girls do TikTok all the time. They're really good at them. And I have a couple TikTok videos I'm pretty proud of. But what they do is they slow motion them down for me so that I can copy all the moves, and then they speed them up. And then I put them on my, like, the grown-up Facebook social and feel really cool. Okay, so veggies, checking in on how veggies are looking.
They're getting there. They're getting there. I'm gonna give them another 45 seconds, and then we're gonna add our garlic. Okay, so let's give it another 45 seconds, guys. Okay, I just,
Eyeball it.
it is a stewed dish, but I think it just
Another second. Okay.
So when the vegetables become a little more pale and the onions are translucent, that's when it's time. And this next step is going to be the garlic. And we're only going to toast the garlic for like a minute and a half, okay? All right.
And then after that,
After that, we're going to add our eggplant.
okay.
Okay. And then we're going to add everything else except for the soft herbs. And then we're going to let it simmer while we're doing our risotto, okay? Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right, guys, so go ahead and add all your garlic. All that garlic, stir it in.
So do you know one of the ways you know if your garlic is toasted? Anybody know how you know when your garlic is toasted? So you'll start to smell it. So when your garlic's toasted, once it's in there, you're gonna get that great fragrance. It's gonna come out, which is the indicator.
Now you want to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt and pepper right now. Okay. Which is right there.
1/8 of a teaspoon is actually also called a pinch. I'm
We
really
call it a pinch.
very impressed to hear you say 1/8 of a teaspoon, or surprised.
So yeah, you want to be careful when you season like stews that cook for a while and reduce. You don't want to over season them at the beginning because they become more concentrated, and that salt will become more concentrated too. So we're just adding a little bit, okay? So I can smell the garlic. The garlic smells amazing.
Everybody else's kitchen smelling good right now? You're getting it? Good. Nice.
Hey, Jen, after the salt and pepper, or right before, what are we supposed to add after the garlic?
So that's all. So right now in our pot, we have our peppers, onions, celery, garlic, and a pinch of salt and pepper. And we are getting ready to add our eggplant. So Jamie's like scooping it to the side so it's ready to put it in.
So we have our onions, peppers, celery. They're nice and soft. We added the garlic. We've given a pinch of salt and pepper. Now add your roasted eggplant.
Jenny and Kylie, y'all are too cute, for real.
All right. That was pull that eggplant into there, and there we go. Eggplant's already roasted, right? So we folded it into our vegetables. Now go ahead and everybody find your tomatoes, okay? Open the white cap.
In case
Take
you weren't
that.
sure.
Now take the white ring off because sometimes that decides to fall right in there, and then just dump all this into your caponata. Okay, make sure you get it all in there. Stir that in. Stir, stir, stir. Okay. Now add your sherry vinegar. Sherry vinegar. Add your sugar.
And this is portioned out.
It is. Dump that sugar in there, stir it in. Now, take your Niçoise olives and strain it with the lid. Strain, I gave you the brine with your Niçoise olives, okay? Just sort of take your fingers on top and pour it over your sink and strain the brine out. These are your Niçoise olives. Take your finger, pour it over the sink, the brine out, and then add these to your pot too.
Did you say to add the sugar?
Yes, add the sugar.
Right.
I may have eaten all the niçoise already.
So you can put any kind of olives in here that you would like.
She's joking with you.
I forgot to give you like
A lot.
a big container of Niçoise.
You have. Thank you. Oh,
And with the Niçoise olives, they have like rosemary and they have a bunch of wonderful herbs in there. Ooh, wow.
Threw it away.
All right, stir that in. Okay, so at this point, guys, we have.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but we have 2 packets of that sugar. That's a lot of sugar. Do we need both of them or should we just use 1 or 1.5?
If you're doing a double batch, you need both.
Okay, thanks.
You're gonna add 2 ounces of sherry vinegar. They're gonna offset each other perfectly.
So for each batch, you have your half an onion, your celery stalks, your small red pepper, your garlic,
Celery,
a
garlic.
pinch of salt and pepper. We added in the tomatoes.
So, yeah.
We added in the sherry vinegar.
Sherry vinegar,
The sugar, the olives. Am I missing something? That's everything, right?
The eggplant.
Eggplant, sorry, eggplant. I knew I was missing something big.
All right, so now we have everything in this pot, right, except for the soft herbs. We're gonna turn it down to low and we're gonna let this simmer and stew and really, really, all these ingredients are gonna come together, okay? So low heat. We want, when I say simmer, you don't want to turn it down so low where there's no activity. You definitely want like it to still cook a little, like you want to still simmer. You still want it to, you want some evaporation to happen still. You still want to see some steam coming off this, but start it low. Let's everybody put it on low and then let's check it out. We'll see what happens. Because everybody's low is a little different, you know?
So ours right now
That's my low right there.
Ours right now has a good amount of movement, so we're going to take it down a little bit on that, right? I can see it on our screen. Okay.
We will not add any more salt or pepper to this till at the very end. Why? Because Niçoise olives have sodium in it because of the brine they're in. We added sugar to it. We added a little bit of salt and pepper to our vegetables at the beginning. So let's not add any more salt or pepper till the very end, okay? So let's just let it simmer, slowly stew.
And then are we setting a timer?
Let's set a 15-minute time, 20-minute timer.
Okay, 20 minutes.
20-minute timer.
Which one is it? 20?
20-minute timer.
Okay, 20-minute timer.
Do we use the soft herbs yet?
No. Don't,
till the very
not to
end.
the very, very end.
Got it.
What was that?
That was Jose.
Good question.
Yeah, good question, Jose. Okay.
All right, now risotto time. Okay, so this is when I'm going to use another sauce pot, a little smaller. Okay, so everybody find their risotto ingredients, all right? So we have that half an onion that we diced earlier, okay? We have our rice. We have our vino blanco, Spanish for white wine. Butter,
What
Parmesan.
did you guys send with that? Is that Pinot Grigio?
This is not Pinot Grigio. This is probably, let me smell it.
It's pretty dry.
Yeah, it's dry. No, this is probably our standard cooking wine. No, this might be Pinot Grigio.
I think it's a
Well,
Pinot.
perhaps.
Why would it be that?
We have our cooking wine that we use typically is it's good enough to drink. I wouldn't drink a bottle of it or whatever, but it's good enough to drink. It's pretty decent, but it's not I wouldn't like have people over and have a bunch of this wine. It's good for cooking though. It's very good for cooking. I never cook with wine that's not drinkable. So first thing we're gonna do, find your butter. And I want you to take 1 tablespoon of this butter out, okay? I cut them in chunks for you, so it's probably gonna be 1 tablespoon. That's 1 tablespoon right there.
So like one.
It's 1 tablespoon of butter.
Oops, I'm not.
Go ahead and melt that. Medium heat. Saute our saucepan's on medium heat, okay? We want to melt this butter. And we're going to saute our onions. So we took a tablespoon of butter out of this. The rest of this butter is for later, okay? So just set that aside.
It's for the risotto, but a
It
different
is.
stage.
It is.
Okay. Okay, so.
Alrighty. Melt that butter.
So while we're letting that butter melt, Claudia, I see you're cooking. I'd love for you to introduce yourself and tell us the same rundown, where you're from, who you're cooking with, and holidays that you're celebrating. Oops, you're on mute though.
Okay, it's hard on a phone. Hello, everybody. I'm Claudia from Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm cooking with my daughter, Gabrielle, picking up skills together, which we just love doing. And we celebrate Hanukkah, and I guess it's time for me to get my decorations out since I think it's next week, right?
Starts on next Friday, yes.
Thank you very much. So I got to get my decorations out, and maybe you could sneak in a class on latkes.
Yes, well, we're adding latkes to meal deliveries, so.
Perfect.
If you don't do a class, you can at least get them there.
Yeah, I love the meal deliveries. We've been having a ball with them, and of course the cooking classes have been great too. But latkes are good, and if you could just throw in some jelly donuts, that would be very. I'm done at that point, and I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Claudia. Okay, everybody, your butter's melted. Add your onions. Now, what's not super important, but is any Italian will tell you, when you're sauteing your onions, you don't want any color on your onions, okay? We don't want any caramelization. We just want them to soften. Because our risotto, we don't want any blemishes in our risotto. We want it to be nice. So go ahead and add your onions to that melted butter, and we're gonna saute these onions till they're translucent, which means your onions become sort of this pale, sort of almost like see-through translucent color. And that means that the onions have cooked like halfway, their second stage of cooking, raw, translucent, and then caramelized.
So about how long does that typically take?
This is going to take about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2
Perfect.
minutes.
So then I would love to say and to meet Jenny and Kylie.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Jenny. This is my daughter, Kylie. Hello.
Hey.
Kylie is 10 and she is a super good cook. So I was like, you should help me with this. And my dad is on here somewhere. His name is Jim.
Okay.
And his best friend is named Bill and he's on there somewhere too. But good luck when you talk to him. He's crazy. We're practicing TikTok dances. So I hope we're doing a good job.
Yeah, great job. And we love this idea of like families and friends being able to connect from all over through our classes. So this makes us so happy.
Yeah, it's been really fun. My dad did one before and he said it was really cool. So we were like, okay, well, we cook a lot. So let's learn some new stuff.
Now, where do y'all live?
We live in Maryland, in like the middle of rural cow town. So our neighbors are goats and cows and horses.
Nice. My aunt lives in Annapolis, but I don't, yeah.
That's very far away.
Our neighbors are not goats and cows and.
Okay, well, they're people who own goats and cows. Yeah.
No, they're not.
And are y'all celebrating a holiday?
We're celebrating Christmas. Okay. Christmas threw up in our house today. So
that's always exciting. It's so nice to walk in and see all the decorations. Well, we're so glad to have y'all here. So thank you for joining. And Kylie, I'm glad to know that you're a good chef, but hopefully you can pick up some skills and expand your repertoire tonight.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
How do you make deliveries to people that are not local?
Well, Jessica, this is a great question.
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked.
So, it came in.
I have a guest here who has people in Pennsylvania that she might want to do it for.
Yeah, so we started shipping classes. So all of you got our last class in our old boxes. So there are cardboard boxes that we do the stickers for. We're super excited about our new boxes. So these are getting picked up on Monday. They're custom made. And so what's cooking good looking?
I came up with that.
I was talking about him. Rediscover the joy of cooking, and then our logo. So they're fun and bright. They bring us so much joy. And our hope is that when people get our cooking kits, that they make them excited and just about the experience.
So do they need 24 hours or what's the time limit?
So typically most of our classes, if you're not local, like cut off about 3 days prior, because we ship next day air, but it's just a matter of getting everything prepped and purchased and all of those pieces. So yeah.
All right, we're ready, guys. Our onions are nice and soft and translucent. Now we add, okay, make sure you have your wine, not the wine you're drinking, but the wine I sent you. Make sure that's open, because to our onions, we're gonna add our rice, and we're gonna stir in our rice and toast the rice for 1 minute, okay? And then immediately add our white wine, okay? So everybody add your rice to the onions. You're like, what? Adding rice? Dry? Yes. We wanna activate the starch in the rice. We wanna toast it because we want our risotto to be super creamy, and the more starch that is released by the rice, the creamier it is, right? So that's what we're doing.
So we're gonna, do we need
So we're gonna toast this for one. You sort of want to agitate it. Just don't let it sit there. You want to sort of keep stirring it a little bit, all right? Don't let it just sit. Okay? So we definitely don't want any burning. So we're just gonna sort of just stir that rice. We're gonna toast it, pull it around like that. I can already smell it.
You know,
it's sort of popping and cracking and whatnot. And you'll feel the starch. Like when you're stirring it, you'll actually feel the rice start to grab. That's the starch getting released.
Oh, that's interesting. I want to do that.
It's hot.
Yeah. So Jamie always
All right,
cooks
so-
dinner. I'm relegated to lunches, but I do some pretty fancy lunches.
All right, so our rice is adequately toasted. Now add your white wine, everybody, okay? And it's gonna be like,
Good. That was a great vocal.
did you like that?
Yeah.
You like that? Okay, so that's our first stage of adding liquid to this, okay? Now what we're doing is we're gonna cook this wine down. The rice is gonna absorb all this wine till it's almost dry. And then we're gonna add half of this chicken stock. While this is happening, we're gonna keep stirring it. We wanna keep agitating that rice so it releases more starch, so it gets nice and creamy, all right?
So why
So
why
we're
the
stirring.
wine? Why do you add the wine? I know it's traditional. It's
Well, you want some acidity in your risotto. So risotto is like creamy and rich, but you need some acid in there to sort of cut that, right?
Okay.
So you want it to be balanced. And I add my wine at the beginning, so the wine actually fuses into the rice. So when you're eating the rice later, you can still taste like that.
Right, you cook the wine out so that you get that flavor. Nice. Okay, so about how long?
I
for this?
also add at the beginning so the alcohol cooks out. So we cook this until the rice absorbs it.
And we need to keep stirring, continually
I
stirring.
always tell my chefs to keep stirring your rice. You know, you can like walk away for a minute, but don't, just keep stirring.
It's a very small batch. It's
You
not.
can just like, you can actually like, watch this. You can actually drink some wine while you're stirring it.
So Nancy, can this be an opportunity for y'all to say hello to us?
This is Bill and Nancy.
Hello.
Hello.
We're from Bethesda, Maryland, which is inside the swamp, which we don't believe in, but we are inside the Beltway, near Washington, across the river from the CIA. Not that we have any relation to that. We are celebrating our little doggie's 14th birthday next week.
Oh, wow.
I've known Jenny since before she was born, and her parents, Jim and Becky, I went to high school with them. So Jim brought us into this cooking class, and we're having a lot of fun.
Very nice.
And we don't have any decorations up because we're both still working, even though we probably shouldn't be. And but we will be decorated, and we're having fun and tend to enjoy a good meal.
We're so
Awesome.
glad that y'all are here.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet you all. So my rice has absorbed most of the wine, so I'm going to add half of this chicken stock, and Debbie, add half of your veggie stock. Okay?
So half of what we sent you, just half right now.
So this is
Not quite absorbed.
Doesn't have to be exactly half, but you know.
And then we're going to keep stirring. And then Jamie, there's a question. What kinds of pots and pans do you prefer? So one, I'll tell you.
Well, it depends, really. So when you're doing, like, what's really great is when you buy pots and pans that are oven safe, where you can put the entire thing in the oven, including the lids. So we have La Crusted, which are French, beautiful.
Which we're not cooking with right now. We cook that with some of like our larger dishes.
These are just.
This is
These are-
Meeson.
This is a Meeson. This is the same company that makes these knives, makes these nice heavy steel. Like they're super. We're gonna sear the fish in this in a little while. Really good. I mean,
And we have another one of these pots or these saute pans that we've probably sauteed. We've had this pan as long as the knife, and we've probably cooked 60 dishes at least in that. And it's still, I mean, so it holds up and looks good through wear and tear.
you know, there's so many different brands out there. I would just make sure that you really have to feel like when you go buy your pots and pans, you got to feel them, make sure they're solid, make sure that the handles are grommeted on there like really, really well.
Can't see that.
Like just make sure that it's quality. Like, I don't know. I could show you all the stuff we cook at work's all commercial pots and pans, and it's like from Edward Don or, you know, some other companies, but they're all heavy. Like we've cooked probably
thousands
more. I mean, it's incredible. Just make sure it's firm, solid, heavy.
But Jenny and Kylie, as we say that, our other pots that are up here are from IKEA because I just grabbed them because it was time for a new pot. So they probably won't do the test of time. Like they won't just be like a short time. But if you want something that lasts, definitely something that's heavy. And like this Meeson, we're waiting on some more stuff to come in because we like it so much that we're actually going to get some more from that collection because we like it.
Right. We like to support small businesses, American businesses. So that happens to be one.
Yeah. So how much longer do you think we have here?
Well, we got a couple minutes. We got enough time for somebody.
Okay, perfect. So Michael Wheeler, can we pass it to you?
This will take a little bit longer than the wine. Wine evaporates quickly because of that.
All right. So I'm Mike. This is my wife, Anna. This is actually Anna's Christmas present from her son.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
so who's your son?
Joe Wheeler.
Okay. So I'm saying sometimes I'm better with faces, but I feel like I know the last name Wheeler, so he must have done some classes with us.
They took a class. Him and my daughter-in-law took a class, and so this is what he gave me for a Christmas present.
Oh, awesome. Well, we're so glad that y'all are here celebrating with us. Where are y'all from?
Bellevue, Nebraska.
Wow.
It's right outside of Omaha.
Okay. Well, that is one of the beauties that we love of shipping right now is that it's cold everywhere. So they're going farther distances, but luckily it's cold. So it's like everything's going in a cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything showed up last night. No problems at all.
Awesome. So glad. I remember because y'all's, it's interesting, like doing the shipping, it's not everything is, typically we do early AM deliveries, but Nebraska did not have one coming from where we were. So that's, I think y'all might be one of the farthest areas that we've shipped to so far. So.
Yeah, it showed up about 7 o'clock last night.
Cool. Well, we're so glad to have you here. Thank you. And happy holidays. We're so glad you're here celebrating with us.
Thank you.
And then can I pass it over to Tony and Jacqueline? And so Jacqueline, I'm thinking that you are their daughter because I've heard about you, but I've never met you. So it's great to have y'all here.
Yeah, we're enjoying another class. We've done many of these, and I'm really excited to share it with Jacqueline. Arlene had a minor surgical procedure, so she's resting, so I get to share it with my daughter. And so far, everything's good. We've been a great team. And we're from Jacksonville, and we don't have anything to celebrate other than Hanukkah later on. And we're going to use Arlene's grandmother's menorah, which is probably about 100 years old.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, so we kept that in the family. And so far it smells excellent.
Good. Awesome. We're so glad to have y'all here again. And it's nice to meet you, Jacqueline. We've heard about you, so it's good to put a face with a name.
Me too.
Okay, so checking in on our risotto, make sure everybody is stirring and checking.
We're stirring it, it's reducing, it's getting there. We got another couple minutes.
Risotto is truly a labor of love. This is
y'all noticed that wine reduced quickly. It's because the alcohol evaporates much quicker than other liquids. So.
How about, can we use this as a chance to check in on our caponata too? Are we at the right temperature? Are we simmering?
It's good. We got some good bubbling going on. It's not burning on the bottom, but it's like light bubbles and it's cooking down.
So you don't
That's
have to
what
be,
we're looking for.
You don't have to be stirring your caponata as regularly as your risotto, but it is a good thing. Like Jamie said, just check and make sure that it's not sticking on the bottom and that it's good. So Kevin, you're looking good up there? Good.
So I'm gonna say about another minute, we're gonna add the rest of our chicken stock to our risotto.
So that was our first timer for our caponata. Are we good?
I mean, you can literally just let the caponata just simmer.
going.
Yeah,
Okay.
just make sure it's not too high. It can literally simmer until we're ready to eat
Is
it.
this a good time to taste it and see if it needs any salt and
It
pepper?
is, you can taste it.
But we're still not adding our fresh herbs until
No,
it's time.
not until it's time.
Okay. So let's do a taste test, see how it is. Hopefully delicious.
But then, again, this is gonna, we can stew this until we're ready to eat.
Warm, warm, warm. What is it? Kathy, is that a good face?
It's pretty delicious.
Okay. Good. Everybody's liking it? All right, good. I got thumbs up from everybody, so that's good. That's always like the time we're like
All right,
getting a
guys.
little anxious.
We are ready to add the rest of our chicken stock. So go ahead and do that. Boom. Boom. There we go. And then we're going to continue stirring until it's absorbed. Once we have this step absorbed, we're going to turn it off. We're going to take it off the heat, okay? And then we're going to bring our fish out and cook our fish. And then we'll finish our risotto, okay?
So Liz and Keith, we'd love to say hello. This is like, Keith, get over here before I have to say.
Hey, well, I'm the IT guy, so I have to figure these things out. Hello.
Hi.
Keith.
I'm Liz, and this
is our newest addition.
Toby.
Learning to cook. So yeah, you go.
Oh, you go.
So we're celebrating our anniversary, and celebrating 9 years, and celebrating Toby showing up, and enjoying your class. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's
Having a lot of
awesome.
fun.
We're really enjoying it. Thanks, guys.
Where are y'all from?
I'm originally Australian, and he's originally from the UK, but we've been in Jacksonville, Florida for 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah, just quick note. I used to live up in Maryland, so shout out to all the people. I used to work in Bethesda and Catonsville, Baltimore, and all that. So all those places are familiar. So hi to all the Maryland people.
Well, congratulations on your newest addition. So sweet. Jamie like doesn't want me to say I missed those days. I think it's because I forget how hard they are.
Oh man, we are right in the thick of it right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
We're pretty out of it.
Hopefully you get a nice, good dinner, and he stays chill during the rest of the cooking process. And so with that, can I pass it over to Kathy and Mark?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
We've done a lot of these classes. We're from Jacksonville, and we are definitely Christmas people. And I wish I could show you a bunch of my trees. I have actually 4 big trees and one above my kitchen cabinets, but I can't move this computer.
Well, I can turn it around just a little bit, but I have the live tree. That's my tree, and she has her tree we've had for 28 years.
Wow.
You can still say, is that real or fake? But I'll do a quick little turnaround so you can see.
Let us see.
Now, the real tree has Kathy's choo-choo from when she was a kid, but I don't have it set up yet. But I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that?
I can see one kind of off in the distance with like the colored lights. That looks pretty.
Yeah, and then we got a little tree up there.
Yep, nice.
And Kathy's tree is over there. You can see part of it.
Yep.
maybe.
I love it. I love your kitchen too. Jamie told me it was fabulous, but I've never been in it. I guess I'll be there next week though for y'all's.
You are catering 2 events for us, actually. Next Friday is one for the Wine and Food Society. And then what, a week later, I kind of lost track.
The 20th.
The 20th, there's one for the Queens Harbor Yacht Club.
And guess this is the birthday girl,
that's
Christmas
true.
girl. 23rd of December is her birthday.
Wow. It's a big month if you're celebrating birthdays and Christmas.
It is.
Awesome. We're happy early birthday. We're so glad to be here with y'all. We are always so grateful for your support.
Well, we love what you do. You do a great job, and Kathy has always loved cooking, and so she's been out of it for a long time as far as trying new stuff, and you're giving her new stuff to go for, and she's loving it.
We love it. So our house only has room for one tree, but our son, who is 4, has loved decorating this tree. Every day he comes home, I've made the ornaments are now on the back patio, like trying to make their way to the garage. And he's like, it needs another ornament. It needs another ornament. So my mom has finally bought him his own little tree that's going up in his room that he can decorate, just because it is pretty precious. Like, but I'm like, actually my ornaments are spaced out. But I realize that's not the spirit. Like, it is meant to have all of his beautiful ornaments up there.
But after 32 years of marriage, you keep on adding that one ornament. Now we're overloaded. Oh, by the way, on the pots and pans, we have Viking and All-Clad, and I'm the chief bottle washer, so she's the chief cook. And they clean up really good.
Okay, good to know. I'm sure, I would imagine those are pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
So how is our risotto looking?
We're about a minute and a half, 2 minutes out before I take it off the heat. But what I want to do, guys, when our risottos absorb this last batch of chicken stock, I want to take it off the heat and let it sit. And then I want to cook the fish. And then right before, I want to finish the risotto with the lemon and the butter and the Parmesan right before we serve it. Okay, that would be the best way.
So can we say hey to John and Debbie?
There we go.
Hey, sorry.
No, you're great.
Okay, so we have been doing, we've been doing catering for a long time. Jamie has done catering for us before.
Jamie's cooked in our kitchen.
Yeah.
And our kitchen's been redone since then. But recently, y'all did our Rosh Hashanah dinner, and this is our 3rd virtual cooking class. So we did the salmon one, we did the sushi one, the original sushi one, and now we're doing this one. And we love you guys. It's just so fun. It's a date night.
And we'll be celebrating Hanukkah next week.
Well, I said Rosh Hashanah. I think that gave it away.
So our Hanukkah menu will be out.
It's out.
It's out actually now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. You had me at latkes. So.
He was like, do we really need to put latkes on the menu? I was like, everybody loves the latkes and nobody wants to have to make their own latkes. Like,
No, yeah, because your house smells for, a month afterwards. So yeah, looking forward to ordering.
Well,
for
thank
sure.
you as part of so many date nights and special occasions. We appreciate it.
Thanks, John and Debbie.
And thank you for making the meal pescatarian. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, so guys, I'm going to take it off because it's still a little it's creamy, and it's absorbed. I don't want it like totally dry. If you can see what this looks like, it's sort of like creamy. Okay, I want to take it off the heat. I want it to.
Is anybody?
Just let it hang out, okay? Because I want to cook the fish, and then I want to finish the risotto. I want to make sure this risotto is like perfect.
So we're taking our risotto off the heat. Is anybody not sure about their risotto? Jose.
Yeah, do you cover the risotto when you take it off the heat?
You can.
You want it covered?
You can.
Are you covering it?
Yes.
Okay, we are covering it, Jose. That is another great question. Anybody have any questions about?
My caponata, I'm turning my caponata off as well.
So we're turning our caponata off and we're turning.
But the liquid has
pretty much
really cooked out, and it's nice and stewy, and I'm going to cover that as well.
Okay, so we're covering.
So we're basically putting everything on hold until our fish is done. So our caponata, we're going to cover it, just let it hang out. And I've tasted it, and I don't believe it needs any seasoning at all, really. And then obviously we'll check the risotto right before we serve it. Okay?
Does anybody have any questions about the risotto texture or the caponata before we move on to fish? Is everybody feeling good?
I want everybody to check your risotto because it should be like.
Liz, I see you. 1 second.
It'll be al dente, right? Not be-
Ours is still very soupy.
Yours is still very soupy? So then you cooking yours if it is.
Maybe a couple more minutes and it'll evaporate.
Okay.
We haven't added the herbs, right?
Have not added the herbs yet.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, so everybody, so ours is still a little al dente because it is gonna cook a little bit more, but we're just holding it right here.
Where's the, look at that.
Here we go.
Nice.
There's a pot
All right,
for every
everybody-
lid. A lid for every pot.
There's-
Lid for-
All right, Carl. My dad says that, like, at
Okay.
least.
So we're pulling out our fish and we're getting ready. So Jamie probably should talk about this, but while he's grabbing our fish, we love Alaska Seafood because of the quality of Alaska Seafood. So Alaska Seafood, it's written into their constitution. Who else has done one of the part of the 3-part series with us? Kathy has, John and Debbie, Claudia. Okay, perfect. So you know the spiel of why we like Alaska Seafood so much. One, we love the seafood that comes from Alaska. Black cod, sockeye salmon, halibut, some of our absolute favorite fish to cook with. I caught myself. But we also love the fact that when you're getting it, it is of like the premium quality. It's written into their constitution that the fishing methods are always going to be the same so that the area isn't overfished. So the fish that we're getting today is the same fish that if you have kids, that your great-great-great-grandkids will be getting because they don't allow it to be overfished. Black cod, also known as sablefish, is awesome. It's high in omega acids, omega-3s. It is actually, surprisingly, higher in omega-3 fatty acids than tuna or salmon. So it's a really, this is a very good for you fish. And it's buttery, delicious texture and flavor. You wouldn't know just how, it doesn't feel like it's good for you. It doesn't feel like it's bad for you, but it's decadent is what I'm trying to say.
So back in the day, everybody remembers like Chilean sea bass was the rage and all the restaurants had Chilean sea bass. And all of a sudden it got overfished and it was.
Why do you keep doing that?
Yes, at Heirloom, it was amazing.
Thank you. I know. It was so good. But again, it wasn't regulated. So it got overfished and it was on the brink of extinction. And then they were like, oh my gosh, we have to regulate this. And they did. And now it's fine. But like Alaskan seafood is ahead of its time in this aspect. They have super tight restrictions on their waterways, on what like companies and all that stuff, like their water is pristine and clear. So the fish is always of the highest quality with very little to no like toxins or any of that stuff. So when we deal with this fish, it is as pure as it really gets.
So for everybody that's from Jacksonville, where did we get this fish? Did we get this from?
Halperns in
Okay.
Orlando. So when I get our really high-end fish, there's a company in Orlando, it used to be called Gary's Seafood.
So we got this from Halperns, which is really distributes to companies like ours, but Halperns also delivers or provides it to Whole Foods. So you can get that anywhere. So when you're working with Whole Foods, you're also getting really great seafood. Is it on? Sorry, let me show you all the fish.
To the high-end food distribution services, Alaska Seafood has an online service that one can sign on to, where they will send coho salmon or other of the Alaskan varieties, and also the whitefish and the sablefish that they send is extraordinary.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. And it goes right to your house.
Yep, packed in dry ice.
Okay, very cool. If you have it, will you throw that in the chat? The name of that company? Okay, so sorry, there is the beautiful
Okay,
fish.
so I've just realized something.
Alaska Seafood is the name of the company.
Okay.
olive oil. So
Does everybody have a little bit of olive oil in
does
their
everybody
house
have
that
a
they
little
can
bit of
pour?
olive oil in your house? All right, good.
Okay.
Because I think we used all the olive oil that I sent you. So this fish, we need to season it with salt and pepper on both sides. And I'll show you, we want to just lightly coat it. We don't need a, okay? Season high, flip it over. Okay. And remember, I told you to pat it dry. Make sure your fish is dry. Okay, important. Now, when you sear fish like this, you need a hot pan. Okay, it needs to be smoking hot. So what I want you to do is take your saute pan and put it on high heat, and let's let it get really hot. Okay. Do not add olive oil to the pan yet. I'll tell you when. We want to get the pan nice and hot. Then we'll add 2 tablespoons of olive oil from your pantry. Or whatever, if you have vegetable oil or whatever you have. Olive oil's good. But we'll add the olive oil right before we add the fish. Okay, we want the pan super hot first. Then we add the oil. Why? Because if we added the oil now and then we let it sit in the pan and get super hot, well, the oil is going to burn. We don't want that. Okay.
So Liz, how's
How
y'all's?
much oil are we gonna add, Jamie?
2 tablespoons.
Okay, thanks.
Liz, is y'all's risotto about ready now? Okay, good.
So just take it off the heat, put a lid on it, let it sit.
So how long until our pan is ready? Not like another minute? I'm just trying to see if I should talk to somebody else so I don't.
Oh,
mess
no.
up the process. Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't being smart. I was.
Oh, well, maybe. You were. And everybody waits.
I know. Sorry, guys. It's just like we feel so comfortable when we do these things. We just sort of act like we normally do. Except for that, I'm never a smart. Ever. Now is when you want to turn your ventilation system on, guys, because when we sear this fish, it's really gonna create some smoke. Okay. Fish with high oil fat content like this, which makes it so delicious. You really need a hot pan. Okay. Importante.
Importante. Okay. All right. So our pan is getting
so
hot.
the key is, so it should be pretty hot, right?
How do you know? You shouldn't touch it. Just by
You
feeling
shouldn't.
it.
It's timing. I mean,
Okay.
it's gonna be pretty darn hot. When you add the oil, if it's smoking, it's ready. Okay. So let's add the
Let's see if
oil.
ours is.
That is 2 tablespoons. You'll notice the second you add it, it's shimmering, it's sort of dancing in there. And let's hope there's no moisture in there, because if there is, and you add oil to a hot pan and there's moisture in there, it's gonna pop. So swirl it in there. It's pretty darn hot. All right, here we go. So if you look at your fish, the bottom,
Oh, let me
the bottom of the fish that was connected to the skin, this is the top of the fish that was connected to its like rib cage to the center. This is the presentation side that we want to lay down first. Okay, so when we lay it in the pan, the bottom of the fish that was connected to the skin is facing up. Okay, so when you add it to the pan,
Oh, hold on.
so when you add it to the pan, lay it away from you. Ready?
Yep.
So set it in the pan and lay it away from you. So if the fish happens to slip out of your hand or whatnot, it's going to fall and the oil will spray away from you, not towards you. Okay? Now, when you add fish to this pan, don't touch it. We're just going to let it sear.
And about how long are we letting it sear per side? 2 to 3 minutes, you said?
2 to 3 minutes.
2 to 3 minutes. Perfect.
More like 3 3 minutes.
So-
And we're just gonna keep our eye on this. You'll see the outside, like when it's getting ready to flip, the outside of the fish that you can see right here is gonna start to turn golden brown. And earlier, when I spoke of the fish, you don't necessarily have to have a fish spatula, but definitely have some sort of flipping apparatus.
We
Okay.
upgraded from our
This-
last class. I think
This
we have-
fish is delicate, okay? So don't try to use tongs or anything. Make sure you have a spatula.
We used a pie server, I believe, for our last class because we realized we did not have a fish spatula here. So,
Somebody stole it.
so Andrew, I know we met y'all a little bit earlier, but we would love for y'all to do introductions with us.
Oh, thank you. I'm here cooking with my wonderful in-laws, Bob and Joanne, and my wife, Meg, and our baby, who is 10 days old. Augustus Joseph is upstairs sleeping, and he's gonna wake up at any moment now. So we're not cooking our fish until we know when he's gonna be ready to have a little snack himself.
Enjoy this moment, right? While he's sleeping, you're like savoring those last few minutes of like.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Good.
But we're having a lot of fun in Idaho.
This was a lovely, lovely gift from one of our children who lives in Ohio.
Okay.
They sent Christmas out to us out here, and in the sibling exchange, one of the other siblings has Andrew. So it was incorporated, and I have just been telling them what a beautiful gift this has been.
We will see you in the future for sure.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you
Remind me
so much.
where y'all live.
Idaho.
In Pocatello, Idaho.
Okay.
It's between nothing and nowhere.
Yeah. So we're even further west than our friends in Nebraska over there.
And we're from Ohio.
Yeah, but I'm from Chicago. My wife and her family are from Ohio.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're so glad to have you. We have some friends so do you have good skiing where y'all are? We have some friends that ski Idaho.
Yep, we got a lot of skiing spots.
Yeah, a lot of good ones.
Now, are y'all celebrating a holiday or just the baby?
Baby, Christmas, New Year's, my birthday in March, everything.
Yeah, no, we're not
And our
staying that
50th
long.
wedding anniversary.
Yeah, 50th wedding anniversary. I'm trying to get them to stay here for a good 6 months.
Right. No, that's right. Well, we agree. This is the time where we just have to celebrate everything all the time, for sure. So thank y'all so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Very nice to meet y'all. Let's all check our fish. I
Okay.
think it's ready to flip. Here we go. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Wow. Look at that.
How's everybody else's looking? Keith, do you have that ventilation system on? I see you blowing some smoke.
Yeah, I told you guys this. When you sear something on high heat, it's really gonna be. I see those. Look at that.
Okay, so Susie, you're up next for saying hello to us. If
So we
y'all are
got
ready.
3 minutes.
Okay.
Hey there, I think you were talking to us, right?
But
Yeah, so we were distracted by our son. Sorry about that, and a little bit of smoke, but we're having a good time. We're celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary, as well as some Hanukkah around the corner. So all good here. We're outside of Philadelphia in southern New Jersey.
Cool.
Nice.
Well, we've been so
Congratulations.
part of so many wonderful like date nights and anniversaries and celebrations. It makes us feel so special.
Our kids are home now, 19 and 21.
Yeah, our kids actually bought this for us, so it's been a lot of fun.
Are they there cooking with y'all?
I think we're burning our fish stove.
Okay. Do y'all? Do they
Pay attention.
I didn't hear you. What?
You feel like you're burning your fish?
I can. Yeah, he took it off for a second.
How long should it cook for?
So we're doing like 2 to 3 minutes per
We're
side.
almost ready. We're almost ready to put it in the oven with our hazelnut crust. So,
All right, we're gonna turn off our speaker.
so everybody find your hazelnut crust that I sent you.
So
There's
if we
two-
take ours off our heat,
Yeah, we're gonna put it in the oven.
we just pulled ours off of our heat though, just on a burner that
Right,
doesn't have heat.
just so we can get this hazelnut crust. And I got it over here.
Okay.
So we're gonna take it off of the parchment paper, the deli paper. We're gonna lay this right on top of the fish. Okay? What's gonna happen is the butter is gonna disappear and the hazelnut and the shallots and all the other goodness in there are gonna stay right on top of the fish. Okay, just like that. Now, if your fish is a different shape or whatever, you can manipulate this butter to fit the shape of your fish. Okay, that's why I do this, because not every piece of fish is exactly the same. So once we do this, everybody see that? Everybody see that? I'm gonna put it in the oven right now for like
1 minute.
a minute.
So going in the oven for a minute. The only goal here, our goal here is just to get that butter to melt. That's what we're doing
The
here.
butter's gonna melt. The fish is gonna finish because it's really close. It's still a little opaque in the center. It's gonna finish. We'll take it out, and then while it's resting in the pan, we're gonna finish our risotto. Sound good?
Everybody feeling good?
So everybody, grab your pan of risotto, take the lid off. We're gonna put it on low heat, medium low. Let's say medium low.
Medium low heat for our risotto.
Sorry, do you put the butter on when it's in the pan or before it goes in the oven?
We pulled our pan off the heat, put our butter on top of it, and then put it in the oven for 1 minute.
You already
Okay.
flipped the.
Can you put it in the baking
fish?
dish?
We had an oven safe dish, oven safe saute.
Directly while the fish is still in the pan, but if your pan's
Probably just go right into the oven. This with the butter on it. Yeah, why not?
You can, so Kevin and Jessica, if y'all need to, you can transfer it to another dish.
and then put the butter on it. Yes, if your pan's not oven safe. But if your saute pan's oven safe, put the whole thing, just like I did right here, and put it right in the oven.
And also y'all, if you do transfer it to a different pan, just take any of the juice and things that's in that saute pan and pour it over. Okay, so fish, the Alaskan black cod should be in the oven for our minute just went off, so we're putting it back in for another minute.
Did it just go off?
Mhm.
That's so quick.
It was a minute.
The oven's on 350, right?
Oven's on 350.
Hey, should the Caponata be on or off?
Our caponata is off.
Okay, good. Mine too.
We're just getting ready to put our risotto. We don't have it on yet, but we have our heat at medium low. And we're going to put the risotto on in just a
I think we need to
second.
wait till
Yeah. So we're gonna wait to finish the risotto until everybody's fish is done so that we're sure that everybody ends up with great fish. So we're kind of just keeping an eye on our fish. We just keep checking in on it because we're going a little
I
past.
just checked it. It looked the same with the butter just kind of melting.
That's what we want, is the butter to melt. So we show a pie. Of
Oh,
what-
is my
This is what ours is looking like, and ours is good. Are we done?
Perfect.
Ours is done. So this is what it should look like. So you've got that good hazelnut crust right there on the top. The butter's all around it.
And now, everybody, when you take your fish out, at this point, put the pancetta in the pan and let it warm up.
Except Debbie should not do that, right?
Debbie should not.
It's too warm.
No, well, she doesn't want mushroom bacon.
Okay.
She,
She'll just garnish.
right, so we just want to warm our pancetta and just put it in the pan with our fish, just like this.
You're not chopping that up at all? You're just throwing in the big chunks?
We're just putting it in the big
Yeah,
chunks.
These are lardons. So
Thank you.
Big chunks. We'll let that warm up in the pan just like that.
Okay, so will anybody have questions about their fish? Everybody feeling okay?
Good, good, good. I like that, Jenny. Thank you. I need a little enthusiasm there.
You want me to do a TikTok dance?
Oh, there they go.
You want me to do it? Oh, there's Jose. Oh.
We're actually off screen as we're doing our dance. I love it.
You're blocking me.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Jamie's on it. These are good. Kevin's just looking at us all like we're crazy as we're doing these dances.
He's like,
he's like, I came here to cook. Yeah. Okay, so James and Becky, while we're waiting for everybody's fish to finish, James and Becky, are y'all in a place that you can say hello?
Glad to say hello. We are very happy to be with our family and with our friends. Bill didn't say it, but he was my best man. I was his best man. And Nancy is his best girl. So you got a pretty good combination there. Daughter Jennifer and granddaughter Kylie. And Becky's running around here because we have two of our grandsons staying overnight. So we have a very busy time. We are celebrating Christmas, but we're really celebrating every holiday for everyone. And whatever faith you are, we wish you all the best. It's been a very tough year for a lot of people. So we just hope that everyone is able to make it through. It's been difficult. Not long ago, we moved my parents to Amelia Island. They're in assisted living, not too far from you, but doing great. My father just turned 98 on this past Friday, a week ago, and my mom's 96. He is actually the oldest living Coast Guard air sea rescue pilot in the world.
Wow.
98 years old, oldest Coast Guard air sea rescue pilot. So he had a little surprise on his birthday. The Savannah, Georgia Coast Guard station buzzed where they live and brought a helicopter in and circled him for a little while. And it's kind of cool. So it's been an amazing year, a tough year, but a good year nevertheless. We've all made it through and we're all healthy at the moment. And we're looking forward to somehow 2021 being a reprieve.
Well said.
James, you are the
Thank you,
perfect
James.
person to go last on our introductions. Thank you. You said everything that was in our heart, and what a beautiful story about your dad. So thank you for being here and sharing with us.
Well, thank you. This is my second session with you guys. You did wonderful in the first go around. So couldn't have. I tried to get more people, but unfortunately, this we had a very nice select group. But another time we'll do it again.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's been an awesome night, so we're loving it. So thank you.
Great.
So how's everybody's fish looking? Everybody good? Smelling good? I like it, Hilda. Good, good, good. Anybody need more time? Anybody not ready to finish risotto? We're all ready? Okay, so.
All right, here we go, guys. Put your risotto back on your medium heat, okay? And then take your lemon juice and lemon zest. Actually, first, shake it.
Shake it.
Okay. Shake it, don't break it.
Exactly. So shake that. Add it to your risotto. That's a little lemon zest and lemon juice. We're going to stir that in.
Did you say all the lemon?
Yep, all the lemon juice and all the lemon zest.
Got it.
Now, add your butter.
All the butter. I know you're thinking,
Well,
should I really
think
add all
about
that?
it. We just added that lemon juice. We gotta match that acidity with the butter because we never add cream to our risotto, right? Never. It's a
Why is
cardinal
that?
sin because you don't.
Okay. Got it, Dad.
Sorry.
Wait, all that butter went in the risotto?
Yes.
Wow.
Who's asking that? I stepped away for a second. Was that Jessica? Jessica, this is your cheat meal, okay? Enjoy it.
Jose and I said the same thing.
I was like, are you sure that's right?
I done risotto on one other class, so I knew, because this is what people are like, I should not add all that butter. And we're like, add all the butter. I'm also right here going like, should we really be adding all that butter? But I'm gonna listen to him.
It's not as much as you think it was. It was actually less than you thought it was. Now add half of this Parmesan cheese, okay? Save the other half. Just add half, correct. Half the Parmesan cheese. Now, add half of the soft herbs to your risotto and the other half to the caponata. And stir them in. Okay? Once that butter melts, your risotto's hot. Taste it. And if you prefer some more salt and pepper, go ahead and add it. Let's check it out. It needs a pinch.
It's a solid pinch.
That's a pinch. And take it off the heat. Your risotto is done. When your butter's melted, it's hot. You can see your risotto's hot. It's like steaming. We've added the Parmesan cheese and the herbs. Make sure that your salt and pepper is right. Totally is so darn good. All right, risotto's done.
Kevin,
Now
is it
check
so
your
good?
Check your caponata. Stir those herbs in your caponata.
Jen and Jamie, are you going to tell me when to add the mushroom?
We're gonna have you garnish with the mushroom when you do plate up.
Okay. Yep, thanks.
Yes.
Now, last thing, guys. Before we plate up, I'm gonna turn my heat up somehow.
Just gonna add a little heat to that caponata just to warm it in case it got. So it should be warm. We're just gonna.
Should be warm. Find your raisin caper beurre noisette. And I'm gonna have to hit mine in the microwave for like 15 seconds.
I'll do that.
Okay?
15 seconds.
You're just, it's probably solid, right? If yours is not solid, you're fine. Mine is still solid, so I just need to nuke it for 15 seconds just to melt that butter again, and we're gonna plate. Okay, you ready? Here we go. We're gonna go back to the one.
I missed the last step. What are we doing?
So we're just warming our beurre noisette in the microwave for like 15 seconds, just so it's not congealed.
All right, here we go, guys. I'm gonna plate right now.
So I don't know, but these are my new favorite addition, these new black plates. I just love them. I think they're perfect for the holidays. They're perfect for every day. They make this dish, it sort of like pops right off of it. I haven't found a dish that doesn't look good on them, actually. So risotto down. For anybody that's new to our classes, we love to see final dishes. So if you're able to plate and then show us your dish, we would love it. Cod right on top of that, huh? Are we putting that plan?
I don't know, you're gonna have to wait and see.
Pretty pretty.
Gonna get some of those pancetta lardons, and we're going to just garnish that risotto. Now, the kicker is this. So We spoke earlier about caponata having capers and raisins in it. Well, here it is. Not sure.
You might want to move it to a bowl.
Yeah.
No? So putting that burnt rosette right across the top of our fish, drizzling it, finishing it with that brown butter. We're going to get a touch more Parmesan. This is
That is our dish.
our final dish. Now,
So what we warmed up in the microwave for 15 seconds, that gets drizzled over the top.
over the top of the fish. So make sure that you use the spoon and pull out some of those capers and those raisins, and then drizzle a little bit of that brown butter.
Okay.
And then when you're ready, Michael and Anna, that looks delicious. I love it.
So the idea is the caponata and the risotto sort of balance each other out.
Nancy and Bill, that looks awesome. Nice work, Bill. Denny and Kylie, looking delicious. And I love your very festive apron. I'm just noticing it. It's so cute. Hilda and Jose and Root, very nice work. I like that you show up now, Root. I see how you work. Smart, smart. Kevin and Jessica, that's looking delicious. I love those blue plates. Kathy and Mark, perfect.
Lenny, dinner, honey.
Oh, Claudia, let us see your plate. I was like, oh my gosh, Claudia left us, but there you are. You just turned off your video.
Where does the last of the Parmesan cheese go?
Garnish. Some garnish.
Just sort of crumble it all over.
Just like that, Susie. She's on it. She's got the method.
Ridiculous.
Jessica's asking for where's the green vegetable
Oh my
to
gosh.
offset the butter?
I'm about to freak out on this butter. I'm like, holy smokes.
Got all kinds of good veggies in there. Hilda and Jose, we love y'all. We love everybody that cooked with us tonight. Thank you so much for spending the evening with us. We hope you had fun. Liz and Keith, that dish looks awesome and it is so well deserved. Y'all need a great dish. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you, everybody. James and Becky, close a little bit to the left. Looking great. Down a little.
Hey, this was great.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
You're going to send a link to the YouTube video on this one?
You a link to the YouTube video. I'll probably just, yes, by Monday, you'll have either a link or I'll forward you this video.
Thank you.
So thanks, everybody. We've loved it. Have a great night. We hope to see y'all soon. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Bye. It's awesome.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thanks all.
Holiday. Thanks
Great
again.
Good job.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yes.
Hey, Jen. Oh, no.
I'm here.
Can we go back to our private room?
Yes, you absolutely can. But it looks like some of your group left.
Really?
So you may.
I can tell them to sign back in.
I'm actually going to make you the host.
Okay.
If y'all could keep hanging out, so tell them to sign back in.
Okay, I'll do that.
We'll wait just a minute just to make sure that y'all get in. You may not know how to do that. My video back.
This one was a hard one for us to figure out wine-wise. So we decided to go with the Sonoma-Cutrer Chardonnay tonight.
Hold on, I'm coming back. I was like, couldn't find.
That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, Chardonnay, but not too oaky, but just something to match the butter to butter. Or a little creamy.
Did it work well?
Well, I haven't tried it yet, but
We'll let you know.
I got lots of choices. This, Jamie, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to suggest a Chardonnay or a Viognier, one of the two, but.
Well, you could even do champagne perhaps, but I thought that would be the way to go.
I love it.
I'm looking forward to you guys. We got you for 2 events, and I know it's gonna be wonderful. The menu looks great.
Are y'all, who's picking the wines for next week's event? Is the group working or?
Cellar, and I have 2 people on my wine committee.
Okay.
What we're doing is we have 3 wines, no, 4
stations.
We have 4 wines from 3 different countries.
Okay.
Argentina and Italy. And we're starting off with, this will be fun. It's little Chandon hoppers. Little bit.
I love it. That's awesome.
It'll be fun.
That's gonna be so.
You're welcome to walk around with us if you want to, but the menu looks wonderful.
Good. Well, we're so excited to be a part of it, and thank you so much. And good to see y'all tonight. We always love when we get to cook with y'all and talk about wine. So it's been fun.
Right.
Always good. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Good night.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
So, James, it looks like.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I'm gonna do it different. I'm gonna do my own Zoom call.
Well, no, what I was gonna
That's okay.
what I was gonna say is that actually y'all are the last ones on here, so we've made you host. So because I think you're still waiting for.
No, well, but I think Nancy and Bill said they want to go eat dinner, and they said we get together later.
Okay, well, if y'all want to stay on here, you don't need to go do another Zoom. We're gonna.
Okay. All right. Leave it on. That's
So
fine.
love meeting y'all. This was awesome.
Thanks, Jen.
Bye, Jenny.
Thanks, Jamie. Okay, bye. Jenny, you're muted.
Oh, hi.